Well, Colton and Kyle have had some absolutely incredible hunts through the years. Just two guys that have spent some incredible time in the tree and filmed some incredible things and harvested some unbelievable bucks. They're both super busy. Kyle is really busy with work, and Colton at that time of year is super busy harvesting. And so this is the first chance they've had to get in a tree. It's October 30th. Definitely know they're behind the 8 ball. They've given up some good time already, so they're trying to get something done.
Well, it is October 30th. Got a beautiful sunny morning today after basically an entire week of rain. They should move good this morning, I would think. We got a west-northwest wind. We're sitting on the downwind side of a nice bedding area. Just a whole bunch of different edges come together right here, right on the side of a little ridge. Should be a real good spot. The buck's been moving pretty good here lately. 3 different shooters in this general area, so hopefully connect with one of them here this morning. We'll see what happens.
So this summer, Kyle, starts to really pay attention to a buck that's in his area. He's seeing him in the beam field. He's got this just really kind of vertical rack, almost like a second main beam that goes way up high on the one side, has a couple of cool kickers, and Kyle's definitely paying attention to him. It's a really, really fantastic buck. This buck is living in the timber, close to these beans, and definitely gonna be a buck that Kyle's paying attention to, a real target buck for this fall. Well, it's October 30th. Colton and Kyle are gonna dive into one of their best stands in heavy, heavy cover in this buck's core area. They know they're close to him. It's a difficult stand, not very high off the ground. It's only 9 feet up in a locust tree, and they're worried about that a little bit, but it's the right tree in the right spot. And so they know they're gonna drop in and do some great calling and see if they can get this buck on his feet. Of everybody I know, it seems like Colton and Kyle have just had some of the best and most amazing success calling in bucks. These guys know what they're doing, they know the techniques, and they know how to use them to great effect to call these bucks, and they've done it time and time and time again with the extinguisher, with the black racks. They know how to use these tools, and they know when to use them. And so, that's what's kind of got them buffaloed a little bit. They're doing a calling sequence, nothing showed up. Another calling sequence, nothing showed up. But when you have that kind of history under your belt, just years and years and years of calling and having success calling bucks during those certain time windows of the pre-rut and the rut, they know that, hey, it's just a matter of time. And so they're not going to give up. They just keep calling. They're doing a sequence every 15, 20 minutes or half hour because they know, hey, it's going to happen. That's one of the most important things to understand about calling. It's almost like bass fishing in a way. You cast over and over and over and over and over, and then all of a sudden, boom, it happens and you get a great fish. It's the same with these deer. When you're using the right calling techniques and they sound correct, the extinguisher and the black racks do a great job of imitating those deer perfectly. When you're using the right techniques, you can keep trying and keep trying because eventually it's going to happen. When that buck is in the right mood, he'll turn and come right to you, and you just don't know when that's going to happen. Well, when I think back on the Deer Society hunts from the past, some of these hunts that we've got of, Colton and Kyle just having unbelievable success with calling. Shot to the Heart, Icebreaker, the Zombie Buck, Desperately Seeking, Mr. Maybe, the Hunt for Megatron. I mean, it's just on and on and on. How many times they've had incredible success with calling and using these tools. So Kyle's rattling with the black racks, and right in the middle of his sequence, here's a grunt and looks off to his right and realizes, oh my gosh, it's the flyer buck. He's coming in right now.
good.
He's huge, man. He's a giant.
He came in the worst possible spot. I think the shot was good.
Well, it's Halloween morning. We're doing all the post-hunt interviews and whatnot here the next day just because the way things worked out. Colton had some obligations and stuff yesterday afternoon, and I went out and found the deer. I was a little bit worried about the shot being a little back and all that, but it turned out the shot was just fine. He didn't go very far. I mean, we could have probably climbed down and went and found him right then and there, but it was one of those deals where I just wanted to be safe, and that's always a good idea. Just give him extra time if you're not sure. Here he is. I mean, just a big, gnarly, old, mature Iowa whitetail. Cool deer, a lot of character.
One of the things Colton and Kyle are just experts at is understanding what calling to use at what times during the stages of the rut. And that's a super important component because you don't want to be out there making sounds that don't match what's going on in the woods and with the white-tailed deer at that time. And that's something they're really, really good at, is knowing, hey, all right, you know, it's October 30th. We're in that Halloween window where those bucks are really, really looking for doe groups. They're really looking for any kind of breeding activity. And so they're using the extinguisher and they're using the black racks to imitate fights at the right time, you know, the right volume, in the right places, in that core area of this flyer buck, to try and interest him and get him to realize, hey, you know, a couple hundred yards away, there's a fight going on over in my core area. That's got to be some doe activity. Maybe there's a doe and estrus. And that buck comes right in because he 100% buys what he's hearing, the rattling, the calling. He's hearing it at the right time. He's hearing it in the right place. And it's just too much for him. They have to come and investigate. And that can get you a shot, you know, year after year, just as it's done for Colton and Kyle.